Coming up this morning on UT Today, teachers. They're a valuable part to any community, but America is seeing a shortage in those wanting to teach. Hear how this shortage is affecting Knox County schools. And the hill on UT's campus is already tough to walk up, why some are hiking the hill in heels.
All that and more coming up right now on UT Today.
A very good Sunday morning to you and welcome to UT Today. I'm Will Bowling.
And I'm Nicole Painter. Thank you so much for joining us.
We've got a packed show for you, and as always, these stories are a part of the university's School of Journalism and Electronic Media.
The Chancellor's Roundtable is an informal opportunity for students to engage with the Chancellor and his cabinet regarding student life on a monthly basis. There's been a lot of talk about diversity and inclusion at UT. We caught up with the Interim Vice Chancellor for Research. He tells us this roundtable focuses on building an inclusive campus community.
We're sensitive to issues and problems that individuals go through. The difference is that, because we've gotten old, we just don't have the same experiences that students have. And so there's a lot of things that we don't know. And that's why it's important.
For more information about the Chancellor's office, head to their website, chancellor.utk.edu.
Well, many UT students and staff participated in the Hike the Hill in Heels event this week to raise awareness for sexual assault here on campus.
The event is put on by the Title IX office. Students began the march at the Humanities and Social Sciences building and walked in heels to Ayers Hall.
UT Today reporter Maria Triconis was there and joins us now live in studio with more. Marina?
That's right, Will. Hiking all the way up the hill in heels is a pretty uncomfortable experience. However, that was the point of the event put on by the Title IX office, to bring light to a sometimes uncomfortable topic. The University of Tennessee kicked off Sexual Assault Awareness Month by strapping on some high heels and hiking across campus to raise awareness about sexual assault. This is the 5th annual Hike the Hill in Heels event. Each year, participants equipped with high heels make their way across pedestrian walkway to the hill. Student participant Rohit Srivastava says he wanted to participate in the event to support his friends and family that have been affected by sexual assault.
You know, we all know someone affected by sexual assault, like so many friends, you know, even family. I think it's super important that we do this. I think the tagline, "Get Uncomfortable," and hike the hill in heels, I think that's fantastic. And I just think overall it's a really great thing that happens at UT.
While he was happy to be at the event, Srivastava said walking in heels took a little bit of getting used to.
Walking around a little bit has been fine, but once I start walking, I'm like very afraid that I'm going to like break both of my ankles at the same time.
Festivities including t-shirt giveaways, a runway competition, and catering were waiting for participants at the end of the hike. Staff from the Sexual Assault Center of East Tennessee was also there to help educate participants on sexual assault and violence and share information about resources that are available to sexual assault survivors.
We offer free therapy to victims of sexual assault. We offer advocacy programs. We offer a 24/7 crisis hotline, so we can have pretty much whatever to help you deal with anything.
The university's Title IX office released its annual update on reports of sexual misconduct last month. This report aims to provide an overview of prevention efforts, information about reports, and interim and support measures over the past academic year. According to the report for 2018, there were 111 cases of sexual misconduct reported on campus. Hike the Hill in Heels is just the first of a number of events hosted on campus for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, as the university asks all volunteers to get involved, reach out, join the conversation, and help change the statistics. This year marked the 5th year the school and the Title IX office held the event. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Nicole, Will, back to you.
Thank you, Marina. Me for UT is a recruitment program at the University of Tennessee that focuses on diversity.
Yeah, the program held their annual Showtime event this past week, an event for incoming freshmen through their jump trip. We spoke to Taylor Washington, entertainment chair and Me for UT member, about why events like this are important.
JUMP is important because it is for admitted seniors, so this is sort of that last push to get them to really commit to going to the University of Tennessee. And as we all know, part of being a Vol is having that volunteer spirit and knowing that volunteer community. And this is a quick way for our minority students that are coming in to know that there are minority students on this campus already that are doing good things and have a multitude of organizations that they can be a part of.
On UT Today, many of us know the beneficial effects of CBD oil on humans, but what about on your animals? We take a deeper look into how these effects are working and if they work.
Stay with us, everybody. UT Today rolls on after the break.
Welcome back to UT Today. These days, the country and the state of Tennessee is finding fewer people that want to teach.
Yeah, and schools are struggling to fill positions in science, special education, and mathematics, just to name a few.
That's right. I spoke with both UT students and staff to find out what the school is doing to prevent such a shortage from continuing.
Systems are really having a hard time filling qualified teachers for the classroom.
Teacher shortages across the nation, something that the Associate Dean of UT's College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences, David Shiak, says is affecting schools right here in Knoxville.
Jobs that are open in math, science, special education, English as a second language, and all of that will be heightened again, as they start the new year. For the last 20-30 years, we've had incredible teacher shortages. Less people are going into the field, so we have less people applying to be teachers. Plus, our current teachers, about 50% of them will leave the field after 5 years.
And while teachers nationwide are needed now more than ever, the reason people are not going into this field is becoming more and more complex.
Comes a unique position that teachers kind of find themselves in because they do want to make that difference, they do want to make that change, but often sometimes feel like, I'm just not given the resources that I'm needed to.
And like several entering this profession, University of Tennessee student Tori O'Donnell has concerns about becoming a teacher and what it could mean for her future.
Definitely the pay is something that I've thought a lot about because that is one of the negatives. It's like I probably have more in debt from going to college than I'll make in a year teaching.
Pay being among several other factors, including available resources, classroom sizes, and overall value.
I think a lot of people don't want to be teachers just because it's very undervalued, and right now there's just a lot of teachers on strike for pay, for smaller classrooms and things like that.
As for what's next to try and improve this shortage, UT is focusing on building strong relationships with school systems nearby.
By working with Knox and Anderson and Blount and all our various partners, that they're communicating to the community about the importance of teaching and working with us.
And keep future teachers motivated and prepared for what's to come.
I would say that I'm still sticking with it just because the kids are where it's at for me. Like, I'm very passionate about their learning and their development and things like that. And to me, that's like the biggest pro.
Oh, good stuff, Nicole. Well, Tennessee is not the only state that is seeing a drop in teachers.
No, that's right. States like South Dakota, Oklahoma, and Rhode Island are also facing similar problems.
Interesting stuff. Well, healthcare is a tough subject, and if it is changed, students are certainly going to be impacted.
That's right. UT Today reporter Kim Rafferty took a look at how the Affordable Health Care Act impacts students at UT and what that would mean if it goes away.
The future of the Affordable Care Act is uncertain. If it's struck down, students will face drastic changes to their health care.
The Affordable Care Act is the law of the land.
So what does this mean for college-age students at UT?
What is it? It's
sought to cover more Americans through insurance.
Just a form of health care so everyone has it.
And for many students on a tight budget.
Before I came to school was the financial cost of health care.
It would mean much higher premiums or no coverage for students. An individual mandate ended in 2018 requiring everyone to have health care. Some new plans suggest replacing it, overhauling it, or changing parts of it.
Oftentimes those are skinny plans, so they look good because maybe they cost less, but they don't offer the same sort of coverage.
For students, here are 3 facts about the Act. 1, since the Act passed in 2010, the number of uninsured students has dropped from 18% down to 13%. 2, students are able to stay on their parents' health care plan until they're 26 years old. 3,
some things covered under the ACA are flu shots, birth control, and mental health.
So one of the areas where skinny plans are skinny often has to do with mental health.
Plus, if you have a pre-existing condition like asthma, Dr. Myers says you are still guaranteed issue of insurance.
What that means is you cannot be denied insurance or charged more because of a chronic condition.
But if the ACA goes away, students could be at risk of losing coverage and millions of students would be left without insurance.
And what's forgotten in the discussion is the person at the end of the line, the person who needs accessible, affordable, high-quality health care.
Despite dire predictions, Dr. Myers remains optimistic.
I'm encouraged about the civic engagement and compassion and engagement of many of the young people I have the privilege to work with. When I look and I see young people, that they do want to be part of solving big societal problems.
For UT Today, I'm Kim Rafferty.
Well, thank you so much, Kim. The Affordable Care Act was signed into law by President Barack Obama, and that was back in 2010.
Many of us have heard about the beneficial properties of CBD oil on humans, but is it safe to give your pets?
Yeah, really interesting stuff here. UT Today reporter Ansley Daniel took a deeper look into the effect of CBD oil on animals and joins us now live in the studio with more. Ansley?
Will and Nicole, CBD is short for cannabidiol, a derivative of the hemp plant that is believed to have therapeutic benefits for issues such as anxiety and arthritis. With CBD products being hot on the market, I spoke with a local veterinarian and a CBD shop owner to weigh the facts. CBD. It's something that seems to be popping up everywhere and in everything. We hear a lot about the benefits it can bring to people, but many have started using it on their pets. Todd Bliss is the owner of American Shaman near Turkey Creek. He says that his customers are simply looking to add to their pet's quality of life.
When you take CBD or the pet takes CBD, it wakes up their receptors, and when those receptors fire, it helps your body, the pet's body, identify and solve problems.
Many people use CBD on their pets to help them, like humans, cope with anxiety, arthritis pain, and in extreme cases, deal with seizures. Dr. Frazier is the owner of North Shore Animal Hospital. She says that she has suggested CBD to a few of her patients, but she says it's not something she recommends to everyone.
We want to do anything that would keep us off of the opioids. I just haven't seen it yet. I've been a vet for 40 years. If this was all so great and wonderful, I think we'd be hearing about it.
CBD typically comes in the form of an oil that can be added to pet food with just a few drops a day. Similarly to the human-grade product, CBD is also being incorporated into treats, something Dr. Frazier fears could be a widespread fad.
The thing is, we don't really know that it doesn't do any harm, as far as I know. I mean, so to go buy treats with CBD oil in it just because it sounds cool, no, I don't think that's a good idea.
Like other supplements, CBD is not currently regulated by the FDA, but Bliss says that it's all about learning.
It is an education process. There's a lot of vets that are on board that send their patients here, their dogs, so to speak, because they're aware of the benefits.
Benefits that are newfound in a sense and not as studied as others.
The problem is it's not studied well enough to know what the recommended dose is. I'm not saying don't use it at all, but we don't know.
Hemp-based CBD products for both humans and animals are legal in all 50 states. But if you're thinking about giving your pet CBD oil or products, you should definitely consult your veterinarian first. Nicole and Will?
That is so interesting. Thank you, Ansley. And I'm sure this is not the last time we're going to hear about this. Keep Knoxville Beautiful does 100 annual cleanups, collecting over 60,000 pounds of trash. The Great South Knoxville Cleanup alone collected 13,000 pounds of trash just last year. But this year's cleanup was a different story. UT Today reporter Chase Biefeld has more.
Knoxville spent $100,000 cleaning up the garbage-ridden Twin Creek Road. But now that the road's on lockdown, people are finding other places to throw their junk. So Keep Knoxville Beautiful is hustling to clean up the rest of the mess.
So today we are doing our annual South Knoxville Community Cleanup. So each year we come out and do a large-scale cleanup where we get about 300 volunteers.
Keep Knoxville Beautiful collects over 60,000 pounds of trash each year. The Great South Knoxville Cleanup alone accounts for over 20% of that 60,000.
We have 3 dumpsters in 3 main locations that can showcase what's being done.
Last year, over 13,000 pounds of trash were collected. But this year, they're well on their way to beating that. This year's success is owed to Keep Knoxville Beautiful's 300 volunteers, an improvement of last year's turnout of 210. UT is doing its part by giving some students class credit to attend.
It requires us to go to 2 field trips a semester, and so we're here today just kind of picking up the park, any trash that we see.
And they're grateful for the incentive.
Definitely part of the volunteer spirit, you know, keeping true to it.
Knoxville youth groups came in to join on the fun too.
From plastic to glass, we picked up
We almost picked
wrappers.
up a container.
Knox County Commissioner Carson Daly also came out to support.
Litter's wrong, and I want to thank Keep Knoxville Beautiful for doing this for South Knoxville.
It's inspiring, the amount of people that can make a difference in a day.
Knoxville's coming together, man.
We hope so.
For UT Today, I'm Chase Biefeld.
Well, thanks so much, Chase. Communities and organizations from all over Knoxville turned out to Sam E. Hill Park to help pick up trash. It looks like they had a great turnout this year. Really good to always see Knoxville come together.
It is. Still to come on UT Today, one woman here in Knoxville brings her love for drawing into her work at the UT Athletic Department.
UT Today reporter Sierra Morgan tells us more right around the corner.
Welcome back to UT Today. I'm Sierra Morgan. The hobby that began as a child emerged again 3 years ago after a little push from her colleagues. I sat down with Amanda Pruitt, the artist responsible for some of Knoxville's favorite cartoons.
As long as she can remember, Amanda Pruitt has always loved to draw. The University of Tennessee Assistant Media Director began her cartoonist career as a child and has since evolved into the UT Athletic Department's go-to gal for visual creations.
I remember growing up, like sitting at church, and my mom would like draw some squiggle or a triangle or a square or something, and I would turn it into this picture that took up the whole page. You know, take up most of church, and then I'd have this picture.
Pruitt's love for drawing grew as a college student, where she started a squirrel series for her campus newspaper. Her comic was regularly featured in the paper.
That was super fun, and they became kind of the mascots for the paper a little bit because they'd show up in special editions, you know, when we have our homecoming and things like that.
Pruitt's drawings continued throughout her college career, but she found that she became too busy to spend time on cartoons and didn't draw for almost 5 years. Pruitt began drawing again only 3 years ago. When colleagues at UT noticed her talent, they encouraged her to incorporate her drawings in her work. She found new inspiration to draw, but this time she upped her game. In her recent years, Pruitt has moved on from classic pen and paper. Now, all her drawings are done electronically with an iPad Pro and stylus. Not only is using color on the iPad much faster than using colored pencil, but color options are endless, and erasing a line is as simple as a tap of your finger. Pruitt has even started incorporating UT athletes and traditions into her cartoons and sharing them on social media.
Athlete drawings are a little bit different than my normal art because I'm basically taking the photograph and picking out the important lines and features that I see and kind of popping that out. And you know, I know that the athletes really love those when I have time to sit down and do them and find the right image and look. And you know, those are fun because I see people using them as their avatars and things like that.
Oh yeah.
On social. I'm like, yeah.
Pruitt has used her creative skills for other projects for UT Athletics, including this past season's animated football schedule reveal. Pruitt hopes to continue to grow as a storyteller and artist and says it's all about finding the right story. Reporting from Knoxville, I'm Sierra Morgan.
Thanks to her colleagues, Pruitt started drawing again only 3 years ago, and let's just say us in Knoxville are really glad that she did. That'll do it for UT Today Sports. Stick with us, everyone. You're watching UT Today.
Well, Nicole, I've got some good news for you.
What is it?
You can throw that umbrella in the garage. You're not going to need it anymore.
It's about time. Thank goodness.
Birds are chirping, plants are blooming. Spring, we hope, is finally here. Reporter Ansley Daniel spent some time at Imes Nature Center to see what's planned for visitors, both welcomed and unwelcome.
Nature is calling and spring is blooming at Imes Nature Center, despite a few cold snaps.
Most of our plants that we have here are native species, and the great thing about that means that we don't have to worry about them too much. Even when it's really cold or really hot or really dry, they're adapted to the ever-changing conditions here in Tennessee.
The recent warm weather and the official start of spring not only bring new plants and animals to the Nature Center, but an influx of visitors as well.
Even though it's a little chilly at night still, we definitely know spring is coming, and that means any beautiful day, there's a ton of visitors out in the park, there's a lot to do, and there's amazing things to see here at the Nature Center.
Jennifer Roeder spends her winters inside at the Nature Center planning programs for visitors in the spring.
We have a lot of programs and events, ways for families to get outside, programs for adults. We have programs aimed at preschool and early elementary children, just getting them outdoors.
While this season encourages people to get outside, it has also resulted in some unwanted furry friends, as people are releasing pets purchased for Easter, like bunnies, into the Nature Center.
What we do notice is that, especially around the spring holidays, like Easter, is when we found a rabbit, but it was not a native one. We've seen ducks released here that we think were probably Easter pets.
Leaving these animals behind in the wild does more harm than good for all involved.
In most cases, animals that have been pets are just not suited to being in the wild and just won't survive. If they do, they can really kind of wreak havoc on the native ecosystem.
For UT Today, Ansley Daniel.
That is so funny to me that some people actually drop off bunnies at IAMS.
Yeah, I know. I would love to have a bunny like that myself. Come on, maybe
We'll
I'll
go get some. In some instances, releasing animals into the Nature Center can actually be against the law. For a full list of programs this spring, visit iams.org. That's going to do it for us this morning here on UT Today.
Hey, and we'd love to hear from you. As always, make sure you check out us on social media. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all things UT Today.
We'll leave you today with some sounds of dogs enjoying this beautiful weather at a local dog park.
Here.